Greetings folks, Two and Proper here, bringing you yet another in my series. And this one here is going to be more or less a sequel to the one that I did about 3 or 4 years ago on concealed carry methods, because it's going to be just carry methods. But not only that, I want to improve the video and audio quality of the video from the last time I did it, because of course that was eons ago before I even had technology. I was doing cave drawings back then. Right now, I want to do some technologically sound videos for people to get a better look at the equipment that I'm even using so that you can see it. So this is going to be just carry methods. So as you know, this is Two and Proper's EDC channel, and I primarily concern myself with the everyday carrier more than the tactical person or the operator and stuff like that. I concern myself more with the everyday civilians and citizens that are going out into the world about their daily lives, but ready to protect themselves as civilians and not operators. So that being said, everything that I have to present to you for this video is going to be covering things that can be found on your everyday civilian or citizen. And there will be upsides and downsides to everything that I present. And we're going to start this one with belly bands, shoulder holsters, and things like that. So, right now, I am wearing something and you may not even see it. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm going to spin, okay? And what I'm wearing right now is Pistol Wear's Trump Card holster. Now, what is that? Well, I'm going to start with telling you what it is. There's some upsides and downsides to every holster again, so here we go. This is basically a belly band slash shoulder holster height kind of a holster right here. Now there's advantages and disadvantages to this holster. The advantages of a holster like this is that it is concealable right here, right? If you've got a shirt on over top, it's concealable. If your shirt's buttoned up enough you can't see the strap, that's right here, or this one right here. And it is this height. The advantage is that you can get to your firearm, and this is a multi-fit type of holster. So this will fit most firearms that you have. This fits just about all firearms I have, though I would not recommend it for something small, like a Taurus TCP. It has a magnetic snap right here, and it's fastened on by 3 buttons, which I feel are rather weak buttons. I'm kind of chubby, so if I don't have this at just the right tension when I bring it up here, snap, 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 the thing come undone all by themselves, holster falls off, cover blown. I love the concept of this holster and keeping things hidden, but I also love that this holster, you can take off this strap right here, which is fastened on by Velcro here and back there. You can take this strap off, sink the holster down, and you end up with a waist height holster that you can switch around in any old way you want to, right here, right? That's kind of cool, because you can put your shirt over top of this, right, and conceal it this way if you've got just the right shirt, so it kind of hangs right here. So you've got yourself a waist holster or a belly band holster. You can wear it around like this and wear it just like this if you've got an appendix type situation going with a thinner gun. Now, maybe not with someone like me. Now we're going to get into the disadvantages, because I have a tub, so I'm pushing the handle of the gun out, way out like this, right? Sorry, you guys have to see this. But I've got kind of a tub, and I'm pushing it out right here. That's not good. It shows for me. I would have to have it around like this, right? So if you've got kind of a tub, that's an inconvenient thing. Another bad thing about this holster is that it is not the easiest to put on. This thing here is Velcro. It attaches with 2 Velcro sides, and the waistband of this, and now we'll take it off, the waistband for this holster is very flimsy. So it's very hard to get on straight. This thing probably looked all effed up when I had it on from the back and stuff. It's a very flimsy kind of band like this, and it's twist all over. It's too easy to twist and put on and stuff. So that's one thing about this. Another bad thing about this is that the retention method right here is this magnetic strap, right? And it snaps into place just like that. And that's cool, but It's magnetic. It's not very easy to get on and off. You have to feel around to get it on, and you have to like get a positive hold on to snap it off. So I call that kind of a negative, you know. And this whole apparatus back here with how it slides in and out of place, if you've got it on maximum and you've got this little thing right back here, it's all twisting up like this so that it's hard to get on comfortably. And a lot of times you have it on, it's doing this thing for you. You know, it's bunching up and it's on. And even though it goes on and once it's on, it's comfortable, to get it on is kind of a bitch. So this is a good kind of holster though for those who want to conceal and have it actually on the body. So this is a on the body type of holster, just like belly bands and stuff like that. So the pistol wear holster, I would recommend for people that are, say, disabled and they've got help getting the thing on. And because it keeps the holster on the body, not at the hip. And so that would be a good recommendation. Or for people who plan on wearing a shirt over and having it buttoned. But it's going to be buttoned up to here if you're going to wear it at this height, because you're going to want to cover up those straps. That being said, if you wanted to wear it as a waistband type of holster, this thing functions better in that capacity. As a waistband type of holster or as a bag or pouch type holster, it functions better that way. The next one I'll show you is the Bravo belt or the belly band type holsters. There's a lot of belly band type holsters out on the market. I have liked Bravo belt the most so far. The Bravo belt goes on easy. It's just a Velcro strap, and that's all she wrote. You know, you've got it right here. You've got your gun holstered here. You've got some magazine spaces here and a wallet space back here that you could probably also use for another magazine. The upside for the Bravo belt holster, as I have been wearing it, is that the retention is good with this strap holding the gun into this holster, right? So it goes in well. The strap holds the firearm in well. And that's not a problem. One of the problems is that there's no real retention for the magazines. So if I'm sitting in my car and I've got this thing on, my legs or my belly or something pushing up here, the magazines are inching out of these slots. It would have been cool if they had some sort of retention method for the magazines, maybe a flap that could Velcro down the magazines. That would have been cool. It's not a big deal, but magazines do tend to inch their way up and out of these slots. So that was one negative about this. Otherwise, it's been all positives. And also, too, for the wallet or ID card slot right here, there's no retention method for that either. It can also get pushed out. So you could lose your wallet with this, and you could lose magazines, depending how active you are. So you might want to consider that. But otherwise, the Bravo belt holster is good for holding your firearm on you. It is comfortable. I do wear this Bravo belt once in a while. If I am going to recommend a belly band type holster, so far it's going to be this one. You can also wear this up top and have your firearm up here. And especially if you're me, that's okay because you've got fat to hold this thing up. But if you're a really thin person, you might find it sliding down. So the next one we're going to cover is going to be shoulder holsters. Okay, this is a typical shoulder holster right here. This one here is by UTG. It doesn't really matter. Some are better than the others. This one goes right up on over you like this, and it goes around your belt loops. Fastens in that way. It's got Velcro, comes around your belt, comes back up. And you've got, again, a universal holster that holds your firearm. And you constantly have to, depending if you constantly change firearms, have to keep adjusting the tension on the holster. Holds the firearm right here. There's upsides and downsides to this type of holster. One of them is that it is constantly going like this if you've got a heavy gun banging into your ribs, right? Now, that depends how active you are. Some people, it may not happen to, but if you walk at a brisk pace, this thing is going like this all day. After a while, it starts to make you a little bit sore in here. If you plan on just a short day with something like this, it's perfectly okay. And again, your mileage may vary on that. Some people are perfectly comfortable with shoulder holsters, and that's cool, you know. Me, I'm not. Another thing is that some people will say, yes, your firearm is pointing behind you, and it's pointing at other people behind you or whatever. Yes, technically you are muzzle flashing somebody behind you, but the chances of your firearm going off, you know, I don't know. That's up to you too. I personally think that's a weak argument for not having a holster like this. There's also shoulder holsters that point the firearm in a downward position like this. So you could do that if you're concerned about it. Either way, there's always going to be something wrong with what you're wearing. And on this side, it's got 2 holders for magazines. I liked that about this, and that's why I got this one, is because I could carry 2 extra magazines and a button-up shirt so people can't see it. So shoulder holsters are good, and there's a variety of different qualities and name brands out there. So just make sure that you read the description on shoulder holsters to see if other people, especially reviews from other people, if other people are having a hard time using them. Body carry is very good for concealment if you're wearing an overshirt or an overcoat like this so that people cannot tell what you've got on. That is if you want to conceal. If you want to open carry, don't even worry about it. So next what we're going to cover is going to be the Kydex outside the waistband or just standard outside the waistband type holsters. I had to angle my camera somewhat downward so you can get a better look at my waist, and who doesn't want to see that, so that you can see the holsters and so I can discuss with you actually getting a better visual, the function and everything like that about all these holsters. So I've cut off some of my head so that you could see the holster better. So here we go. All right, first the outside the waistband Kydex holster. Everybody and their mother is selling Kydex holsters right now, and so they're very easy to find. These holsters are pretty good. They have a good retention method. It's simply just snapping the firearm into place. It's not so easy to pull them out. If I took this holster and turned it upside down and shook it, the firearm's not going to fall out of there because, it's just held in place by the trigger guard. However, downside, if I hold this holster upside down and shake it hard enough, the firearm will come out. There is no snap over retention method for these standard outside the waistband Kydex holsters. Now the upside to these holsters is that they are very close to your body. You could pull a shirt over top of these holsters and it's pretty much concealed. It just depends on the shirt. It depends on your body type. So take everything like that into consideration when I'm talking about this, because you can pull a shirt over top of this and it will conceal it. And that's a good thing if you want to go concealed. If you're going open carry, you could wear it like this. But if you're in a situation where you're open carrying and all of a sudden there's some sort of dangerous situation going on where you may feel like you need to pull your shirt over top of it, that's an advantage too. It's quickly convertible in the manner that you could pull your shirt over top of it and it's all of a sudden hidden. It's very close to your body. I like to wear these in the winter time because I always wear my coat. I wear my holsters like this, just like this, right? Because my shirt's hanging down here, my coat's here. Still nobody can see my firearm, which I keep outside the shirt like this just for easy access on my part, right? Still nobody can see it. So I like this. I like the idea that I could just draw and reholster, draw and reholster. Just make sure that your clothing is not trapped inside the holster when you're putting your firearm back in, and you're the pharaoh. And now another one that you can get is these Phobos holsters. They're generally anywhere between $25 and $35, and they're kind of excellent. They're made specifically for the firearm that you're getting them for, and they have retention screws that you can tighten it or loosen it, making it easier to draw or a little bit more difficult to draw. But they have good retention. A simple yank pulls the firearm out of the holster, and these are great. I like these for range use and stuff like that. They're also okay too if you're going to be pulling a coat over top of it. That's fine. It's the same kind of retention as the Kydex holsters. I like these. I like how they fit. I like how they go in. The retention is good. Phobos makes a good holster. If you want to be concealed, these are perfectly fine if you're putting them on and you have a coat over top of them. On a hot summer day where you don't want your firearm to stick out, that right here is what you've got to consider. There's kind of some distance there, so you might want to consider that. Other than that, these holsters are just fine and they're inexpensive. Phobos is inexpensive. Now there's other types of plastic and polymer holsters with the variety of different retention methods. And this one here is a mechanical retention method type holster. This is the Blackhawk Serpa CQC holster, which I also did a video on these. You want to check that out. This is one of those holsters that has a great retention. You see the firearm just clicked into place. You can shake your firearm like this. It is not going to come out. You have to push this button and then draw your firearm. And another good thing about a holster like this is it deposits your finger right where it needs to be for a perfectly indexed draw. However, these holsters you have to practice with. You have to practice pushing a button to draw your firearm. Now, if you're used to another different kind of outside the waistband holster with just an open top and friction retention, you're going to have to practice using these because you have to push a button. Whereas with these, you don't have to push anything. You can just pull your firearm out. These, you have to push a button, right? I love these holsters right here, and I really dig that retention method. But I've got to practice every time. You got to keep it in mind, right? There's a whole bunch of other different holsters like this that have thumb levers and thumb brakes and stuff like that that you also have to practice with. So what you have to keep in mind is if you're getting a holster like this, you're getting a holster that you have to get used to using without looking at it, and you have to practice. You have to build your muscle memory around this retention method, right? If not, you could find yourself trying to draw your firearm and wondering why it's not coming out. And this one right here, I love this holster. This is the Tagua leather holster. It is nothing more than a belt slide, open front, open back. And this is designed to fit my Springfield XD45 subcompact. But the good thing about that is that it fits every firearm that is in my stable. It's my Heckler & Koch P30SK. Fits it. And of course it holds it just as snugly as it holds the gun that it's designed for. Oh, here's my Glock 19. Fits it. You know, so this is kind of a one holster fits all. But the one thing that I got to caution you about when you do that is that you want to make sure that the firearm that you're holstering is actually going to stay in the holster because of the tension brought on by your belt and your waistband and stuff squeezing in on it. Because this is the Walther PBS M2. It also fits, but it has much less retention. If you're going to get something and if you want just one holster for a multitude of firearms, this thing right here, the Tagua leather for Springfield subcompacts, fits just about everything. Even my 1911s. But this seems to be operating like a one-size-fits-all holster, so that's a good thing. And it's attractive. Black shiny leather. Can't go wrong with that. The downside for outside the waistband holsters is that, of course, it is not on the body, right? And also, too, some of the retention methods, as I said, are not as firm as some of the other retention methods, like here in this Blackhawk Serpa CQC. There's an upside and downside to everything. You have to practice with this, and you have to not do cartwheels with this. So if you're not doing cartwheels, this will be perfectly fine. This holds the gun right up close to your body. Of all of these right here, the two I would recommend the most would be this one right here. Is a leather holster because it looks nice. And this one right here because it holds the firearm close to your body and you can conceal it in a pinch. So that's that. Alright, the next kind we'll talk about is probably the most popular carry method for people concealed carrying, and this is the inside the waistband holster. Right now I'm wearing an inside the waistband holster, and yes, I did do a review on the Nate Squared Tacticals Professional Series holster, which is what I'm wearing right now. Now this again is one of those holsters that you have to practice with to use, just like the Blackhawk CQC holster. This holster's method here is that you have to twist it a little bit to get it out of the holster. You have to twist your firearm to release the trigger guard from that tab that holds it into place. So, a little bit of a twist. You have to practice with this one, right? And I'll pull it out and show you the holster, girls. Nothing else. So, again, this is it. This is the Nate Squared Tactical Professional Series holster. This has been the greatest holster I've ever had with the asterisk that you have to practice with this holster as well. You have to practice that twist, because you can see right here, there's that tab. I'm not sure if you see it. It comes down here. There's sort of a tab down there that holds the trigger guard into place. And to get the firearm out from the trigger guard and know you're not being muzzle flashed, the gun's empty, you have to twist the firearm to get it up over that tab. So I recommend this just because it also is comfortable on this side, covers up that part for your body, and all you feel is this cushy suede kind of leather here. And this is an excellent concealed carry holster. The downside to it, of course, is that you have to practice with it. You can't just throw this thing on and go out with confidence and use it, because you have to build the muscle memory necessary to use this effectively when you need to. Otherwise, you just have a comfortable holster on all day long, and hopefully you don't need to use your firearm. So practice. This is a great holster. I recommend it. There's other types too. This one right here, this is a DeSantis holster, a soft tuck. This is for my PPS M2. Alright, pretty standard stuff. You can tuck your shirt in around it. This is an inside the waistband type of holster, and it has an open top right here with this extra stronger leather right here that keeps it kind of open for you. So reholstering is not as hard with these. A nice comfy leather here. Not bad. This is a good holster. Another kind that I have is right here. This Stealth Gear Revolution holster. Okay. This is just standard retention. This is friction retention. This is nothing else. A little bit of trigger guard, a little bit of friction. And this is also for my Walther PPS M2. Fits it just fine. The retention's pretty good. Again, it's no better than your outside the waistband Kydex holsters. You want to be careful with how much activity you're doing, because the firearm can come out. Though with this holster on and with it tucked in your waistband, you have to give some effort to pull that firearm out. And this is a pretty good one. And I opted to get Stealth Gear's Revolution holster because I liked how it worked, but also because it's not as expensive as their other holsters. Wow, some of them are like $110. Not me. And this kind of holster right here, this is just a Galco. I forgot what the name of this holster was even, but this is for my Glock 19. Snaps into place. It's all Kydex and just these straps. This is an inside the waistband holster. Your belt goes through here. Pretty cut and dry. Sweat guard back here. Click-in retention, just like all of the other ones, just like the Phobos, just like your outside the waistband Kydex. And it holds the firearm into place pretty good. This isn't bad. But because of the Kydex on the back, and it's all Kydex right here, I would recommend a holster like this if you're also having undershirt tucked in. And that's just for comfort's sake. Otherwise, this is a pretty good holster, this Galco here. And there's also other inside the waistband holsters like this one right here. This is by Ace Case. I picked this up on Amazon, but it fits multiple firearms, and it's designed to. Just by its construction, you can tell. And it's pretty comfortable. This is sort of a rubber back here. It's not anything, it's no cloth, it's no soft suede or anything like that. So you do sweat underneath this thing if you wear it all day. However, if you've got an undershirt on or anything like that, this holster becomes that much more comfortable. It's got the clamps here for your belt loops or your pants, and your belt can go through here. It's just like all of the others, and it fits just about everything I own. So there we go. So that's pretty good for those who don't have a lot of money and need an inside the waistband holster that's not too uncomfortable. This Ace Case one right here, less than $20. So that's a pretty good option there. And another one that I've done reviews on here is the sticky holsters. I swear by these sticky holsters because I've got them for every one of my firearms. And the reason I do is simply because they are easy. Put your firearm in. The retention method is nothing but friction. And you can tuck it in your waistband. You can also put them in your pocket. And they also work great as pocket holsters if your firearm is small enough. They work great for that. So sticky holsters, all they are, it's just like the Remora holsters, if you're familiar with those. It's a nice rubbery, cushy material. I like how comfortable these are. I never worry about how they feel because they're really comfortable. And you can draw your firearm in, and it's held in just with the friction of having your waistband squeeze in on it. And there's a variety of different types of sticky holsters. For example, bedside sticky holsters and other types of apparatuses. So visit Sticky Holsters on the web and check out what they've got. There's a lot to them, while there is not much to them. So they're a great minimalist type of holster that works. Sometimes less is more, and that's what sticky holster is all about, in my opinion. Less is more. Other types of holsters include things like Alien Gear with interchangeable holster options. And so I also did a review on Alien Gear holsters. I love Alien Gear holsters. This one right here is set for my Glock 42. And I've got this one right here, the inside the waistband type of Alien Gear holster. That's set for my Glock 19. And this old style outside the waistband holster, which is, that's for the Makarov. Yes, I carry that sometimes too. So what's great about these interchangeable holster types, which I believe now just is Alien Gear. I'm not sure that anybody else does them. If they do, put it in the comment section so we can see who it is. Because Alien Gear right now seems to have cornered the market on this. And the great thing about this is that I can take this shell off, put it on this holster. I can take this shell off, put it on this holster. They're all interchangeable. This is the cloak mod type holster right here. Some of the latest stuff that they've come out with. And they've got even later stuff that they've come out with that I don't own yet. This holster right here can be an outside the waistband holster. But not only that, they have rigs. And I have rigs right now that I haven't used yet, that you can put in your car and slide this in as a firearm holster for inside your car. And there's all sorts of versatility to Alien Gear. And there's upsides and downsides to Alien Gear as well. Not so much with the inside the waistband holster. I find this to be a completely comfortable holster. The clips are great. These plastic C clips or J clips or whatever they call them. They're great. I like this. The only downside is this material right here. It does slide around on your skin, but that's a very small gripe. This fits the firearms that they are designed for. And another good thing about Alien Gear holsters is that the shells only cost $12. And also there is a lifetime guarantee on Alien Gear holsters. That's why I puff these up so much, because there's so much value. Make sure you check out my Alien Gear holsters video, because I go into these in much more depth. But I've got to say that Alien Gear presents the best value of all the holsters out there. Now, some of you may be asking why I didn't cover ankle carry. Well, that's my least favorite method of carry, but that's me. You know, for one, I've got really thin ankles down by my feet. I would probably have that holster clunking around on my ankle bone all day long. But another thing, though, is that if you actually have to go down and put yourself into a ball to pull up your ankle holster and shoot, or pick your leg up and do all this stuff to go and shoot, your firearm is too far away for you to actually be effective with it. I would rather have a smaller firearm somewhere else in my back pocket, someplace where I don't have to reach down, crouch down, and actually put myself into a vulnerable position. Now, I know there's going to be a variety of different situations which an ankle holster would actually prove useful. I'm not disputing that, so keep the attacking to a minimum. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, for my purposes and for my personal preference, that's why I don't have ankle holsters, because I just won't have any. Now, I would have an ankle holster with an extra magazine or two in it. That's different. But for the firearm, for something I actually have to go to and use, I wouldn't favor the ankle holster. That's just me. I think that's rather inconvenient. I think I have to do too much to get to my firearm. I think it's too far away from me. And I know it's better than not having one on you at all. And another thing is that the weapon that you would have in an ankle holster is going to be a smaller caliber, mouse gun size type of weapon or something like that, unless you really don't mind having a 50 AE Desert Eagle in your ankle holster. But chances are it's going to be a smaller firearm, right? I would rather have something up my ass that I could draw than have to reach all the way down to my ankle and defend myself. If I am going to have extra firearms on me, they may be tucked somewhere else in my waistband, maybe in a coat pocket, shirt pocket, front pocket, whatnot. But it's certainly not going to be where I have to go all the way down and unsnap something and pull it out. Understand that I'm not attacking ankle carry. It's just that that would be my least favorite, and I consider it to be the least effective for me. Right? It may be beautiful for you, but it's the least effective for me, so I'm not going to have any ankle holsters. And of course, from the first video that I did, I have also left out the method of carry that the Mayans made popular, which was anal carry, but that was just something that I preferred not to demonstrate on video. You have to come over to my house and bring a couple bottles of scotch with you. And then finally, before I end this, a lot of the holsters that I covered, cost a pretty good deal of money, and you don't necessarily have to spend that kind of money to be able to have a holster to put your firearm and protect yourself. There's a lot of child support paying fathers out there that, you can believe me, are poor. It simply does not pay to have a willy in divorce court. So we're going to cover universal types of holsters too. Now this one right here, this bulldog holster, I like this. Now I like this, and it's big and clunky though. Keep it in mind, it's big and clunky. But it fits a variety of different types of weapons, and it also has a spot for a magazine here in the front. This bulldog holster is pretty cool. Now it does stick out a little bit, so if you're going to wear it outside the waistband, which you can, there's a slot for a belt right here. If you're going to wear it outside the waistband, it's going to stick out that much, right? Can you see that? Make sure you have a good coat over it, a good overshirt if you want it to be concealed, but it's also an inside the waistband holster. Inside the waistband, these things are this thick, okay? This thick. Let's compare that to this thick, right? Much thinner, or this thick, even thinner. So there's an upside and downside to this, but the upside is that inside the waistband, this is comfortable, okay? Now if you've got your underwear, if you've tucked this inside your waistband and you got your underwear here on this side, the friction alone from just your underwear and this material holds it into place, and it's comfortable. On your bare skin though, I wouldn't go commando with this, because this thing rubs, and then next thing you know, you've got more blisters than you got from that person the other day before. So you've got that. Again, extra space for a magazine, great. Of course, again, here's another universal type, ace case, less than 20 bucks. I just covered this earlier. And these Blackhawk holsters here, kind of like a foamish type of nylonish type of material. Perfect. These things are excellent. They fit your firearm. It's comfortable. It covers all of this up to your skin. I have never had a problem with these. The only thing that I can tell you about these is retention is not the greatest, because the firearm just slides in and out of there very easily. So, however, if your waistband is tight enough, and if you're wearing those tight Sergio Valente jeans with the decorations on the back pockets and stuff like that, chances are you've got it tight enough to hold in a firearm. So this is about $15, $16 maybe. Not much money. I recommend these two if you're on a budget. And believe me, folks, I am all about budget, and I was one of those child support paying fathers. So I can tell you right now, save money when you can. Don't worry about what's the greatest and latest. Sometimes you just have to get by. So that being said, these are the most popular, I gather, carry methods for handguns and pistols. And I know this video ran kind of long, but in order to cover some of these things, you actually have to go into a little bit of depth. And I hope that I've done that for you. And folks, don't forget to check out www.notjustguns.com. They are a great gun store in Mason, Michigan. If they don't have the firearm that you're looking for immediately, you could pretty much bet that they can find it for you. It would be very rare that they couldn't. www.notjustguns.com. And Abaddon Apparel. Check out Abaddon Apparel if you want any of that 2 and proper gear. And who doesn't want that 2 and proper gear? You know, I know that you've got this already under your trees this year. 2 and proper gear can be found at Abaddon Apparel. And folks, thanks for watching. I'm 2 and proper. My email address is right here. That's 2andproper@gmail.com. write and I will answer you, provided you are being polite about whatever it is you have to say. I hate some of these tools out there. And if I've got the time. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless America, and keep on protecting yourselves and your families and your flag and its honor. It's always the right thing to do.